Happy Memorial Day, ladies and gentlemen. Hey, baby.
Hello.
Welcome to another episode of Melanated Thought, where we talk about things that affect the black community. I am Reggie O.
And I am Mimi the lady.
And what a lovely lady she is.
Bomb chicka wow wow.
Okay.
Yeah, buddy.
Yes. Happy Memorial Day, everyone.
Yeah, of course.
I had this little speech that I wrote.
Go ahead.
Oh, I can't see. Hold on. Today, we remember and honor the brave men and women who have died while serving in the country's armed forces. It is a time to reflect on the sacrifices that these individuals have made to protect the freedom and ideals that we hold dear. It is a day to recognize their courage, their selfishness, and their unwavering commitment to serve their country. Again, we say thank you. To God be the glory. And again, thank you for your service.
That was beautiful.
Shout out. Yeah. Shout out to my Uncle G, my daddy, my uncles. Did I have any female in my family go to the service? I did. I have a cousin. Yeah, I have a couple of females. So shout out to all of you guys for your commitment. I don't know. When you're in high school and the armed services come out and tell you what they're all about, and I think Angela took ROTC,
yeah.
But I just never thought about going. I just never.
To be honest with you,
never thought about going to the service.
To be honest with you, I never thought about it. I thought about it later on, but it was just a thought, and that's as far as it went.
Well, I'm not gonna lie. I thought about it after they said, "Well, you can get a free ride. They pay for all your salary." Like,
exactly. Yeah, precisely.
I thought I took out all these student loans. Golly.
Exactly. So, and on my side, man, shout out to my stepfather, Jerry Martin. He was in the military, served in Vietnam, got out unscathed. That's a good thing.
Yeah, I have an uncle who he pretty much, I think he was in there 30 years.
Yeah.
I think he just stopped it out.
Some people do that. I mean, I want to give a shout out to, of course, our two co-hosts, Leslie Deloney and Marvin Lewis. Both those brothers served in the military. One served in the Army.
Thank you for
the
your
other
service.
served in the Air Force. So let me see who else. My best friend Eric Clement. He tried to get me to go into the Army with him. And he had the same spiel, but I had got the scholarship at OU, so I didn't really need to go to the military to pay for college, and I'm kind of grateful of that. So, and shout out to my cousin Keo, who is in the Philippines right now.
Wow.
I think he retired out. He retired out because he got in right out of high school. He graduated in '87. And he went in right after high school. Yeah. So
most of them do.
A lot of people do. Shout out to Dexter.
Right after high school.
Shout out to my cousin Dexter. He's a regular on the show. He was in the military. So and I think that his daughter Kara, which is my cousin, of course, I think she's in the Air Force. I think. I might be wrong.
Very nice.
But anyway.
Well, thank you all for your unwavering thought to even though you see what goes on in this country every single day. You know what? You still decide to.
And I tell people all the time, babe. I salute anybody that will fight for a country that wouldn't fight for them. I salute anybody that does that. They're a bigger person than me. But I salute y'all, man. I have no disrespect for you whatsoever.
Not at all.
None. Nothing but respect for you. Anyway, we have a little bit of sad news. The Queen of Rock and Roll passed away.
Absolutely.
Let me put this picture of Miss Turner up. That woman, I'm telling you, I think a lot of people had kind of a crush on this woman because she had the absolute prettiest legs of any woman on the planet to me. So, but she was a good person inside and out. I mean, she was an activist too.
Excuse me, yeah.
She was definitely in the civil rights struggle, and she did her little. She did what she could before she moved to Sweden and became a Swiss citizen. I mean Switzerland. I'm sorry. Now, is it Sweden or Switzerland?
Now, did she leave because she was tired of y'all? I know. At first, I heard that she had moved there because she got better respect for her music over there. Right. Or better sales or something.
Yeah, something like that.
For her music, but it was Switzerland.
Yeah, it was Switzerland. Okay, all right, but rest in peace, Miss Turner. We lost her. She was a awesome talent.
Yes, she was.
Nobody had a voice like hers.
And all I gotta say, she was simply the best.
Yes, indeed. Feed the need.
The best, yeah.
Yeah, man. But yeah, rest in peace, Miss Turner.
Mm-hmm.
That being said, dear, how have you been?
Pretty good. Pretty good. Same old, same old. Trying to get through all these graduations. Shout out to all the graduates. Congratulations to all the graduates from kindergarten to grad school. I have some in all those stages.
Yeah.
And you're off to a different world, especially the ones that's graduating college. So,
oh man, yeah.
let this be your stepping stone. And I know it's going to be scary, but just keep the faith and know you got this.
But check this out, babe. You remember when you graduated college?
Mm-hmm. I was just talking to Angela about that today. Every step. I remember I graduated high school.
Yeah.
Junior, bachelor's, master. I remember each time what I was doing, who was with me, who came, and everything. I do. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I remember mine too.
Because that's how I was asking, do you still have your cap and gown?
I do. It's faded now.
Yeah.
It was maroon and white. Now it's just like a ugly gray and white.
Like the one in high school was white. The one in
mine was green.
Junior was white.
Mine was green.
The one in bachelor's was black, and then the one in master's was black. So like I had black and white. I never had no different colors.
Well, it's not green anymore, but it was green.
It's probably like a moldy yellow.
Yeah, it's not even that.
Moldy brown.
It's not even that. I used to have my tassels. Those things they been gone. I had my tassels from my high school and my college graduation.
Because I was on honor roll, so I had the
me too. I had the I had that too.
But yeah, I did. So congratulations to all the graduates from kindergarten all the way up to grad, and other than that, just steady taking one day at a time and
all right,
trying to push it.
Let's get this music cracking. Wrong song. Damn, it's always the wrong song when I come in here. What the hell? There we go. Put on that one. Yeah. Yeah. But anyway, how's you been okay, baby?
So far so good. You gonna tell the good people what we did on Saturday?
Oh yeah, man. We went to the Foundational Black American Expo right there at the Black Academy of Arts and Letters.
And he thought he wasn't go.
No, I really did, man, because I was just contemplating going and not contemplating going because, for those of you who don't know, I'm a really big follower and fan of Mr. Tariq Nasheed. Shout out to Tariq. As a matter of fact, I got a picture of me and Tariq. He signed my book and everything, man. Tariq is a cool cat. He was real approachable. He wasn't all stuck up and shit like most celebrities are. Man, he came up. I came up to him and said, "Hey, brother Tariq," and said, "Hey, man, how you doing?" I said, "Hey, man, I'm doing good, man. I'm a big fan of yours, and would you please sign my book?" He said, "Yeah." Without hesitation, just went up, pulled out a pen, and signed it. And I said, "Can I get a picture with you?" He said, "Yeah, cool." Wow. And since my arms were so damn short, he said, "Let me take that motherfucker," and he took it. So
Excuse me. Well, I must admit, this is my first time ever attending any expo like this.
Yeah.
We got there around 9.
It was still early when we got there.
Yeah, about 9:45, and we left about 9:45.
Yeah.
But I must admit, I enjoyed it. It was different. Very informative. Some nice vendors there. Like I said, I haven't been to the JBL in a long time. I think I was in high school.
Right.
The last time I was there. But to see that it's still thriving, it's still a beautiful facility.
Oh, man, yeah.
Did my heart proud.
That's my first time going.
It made myself to realize that I signed up for their email list to know what's coming and things like that. So I had made myself a promise that I'm gonna start trying to attend and give back because that it was awesome.
I can honestly say
it was truly awesome.
It's like I was telling you when we were there in Oklahoma. We don't have anything like this, and I hate that.
And we do, and a lot of us don't even try to participate.
They really should, man, because I loved it myself. It was a lot of folks there, man. Let me see. Of course, Tariq Nasheed. He was on stage clowning people like Tariq does. And then Sister Vicky Dillard, she got on there and she told her story. But the thing about Vicky Dillard, I like her show, but I didn't know she was. I know that she had been incarcerated before.
Me neither. To hear her so like what? Yeah, her transparency made me look at her from a different light because I'm not gonna sit up here in front. I try to look at her podcast and her YouTube channel.
Yeah,
I thought she was a little annoying. But now after hearing her, for lack of a better word, her testimony,
right,
and to see where she's heading now, especially for the culture.
Yeah.
Mad respect.
Exactly.
Mad respect.
Exactly. And of course, one of my favorite speakers was Dr. Kaba Kamene. You know, I was trying to get a photo with him, but he didn't ever show up. I mean, he showed up. He just wasn't out there among the people.
No.
But and that's okay though. You know, I'll get Dr. Kaba some other time. But you know, I'm a big fan of his. He's a major historian, and I love Dr. Kaba. He was cool, man. And another brother, Mr. Ben X. I got a photo with him. He was cool. He was real approachable, you know, real laid back brother. And Ben, I got your information, brother, and eventually I'm going to get in contact with you so he can be on the show, because he said he would do. He said he can come on the show and talk with us and chop it up with us and all that good stuff.
Oh,
so
wow, nice.
definitely, Ben, we would definitely hook up with you and get that taken care of. So but yeah, overall it was a pretty good deal. I was wanting to get one with a brother Marcel to get a photo with him, but he was in and out. So
he was very informative. I have never heard him, and then you explained to me who he was,
right.
And his rhetoric was so on point. And you know, I know you said he tried to run for Congress to take Clyburn's place, and just to hear him speak,
yeah,
and his zeal behind his passion of everything he was speaking of. Congress ain't gonna have him. I mean, I'm not gonna put no hate on his run. If he get in there, we need someone like that. But he is so passionate, and so you can tell he's very outspoken.
Oh, he's grassroots. I'm telling you that right now.
I don't know. They're gonna be like, we don't need another one in here. We already got what's her name? What's her name? The young little hothead Mexican girl. Is she Mexican or
AOC?
AOC?
You know what? She's more or less for her people, which is a people of Hispanic descent. Which I'm cool with that. Okay, do you, sister?
And then we have the well, I know they're fading out now. We got the Maxine Waters and the Sheila Jackson Lees, and then we have a couple of young ladies. One of them is kind of like was put in there to kind of, I guess, take the place of Maxine Waters. And there's another one she has been elected also to, I guess, to take the place of Sheila Jackson Lee. She's here in Dallas.
Right.
And there's some others. I know one from Detroit. I've seen her, and it's another. We got a couple on there that's hot here, and they're like, oh no. But it would be an honor, truly, to have him take Claiborne's play, because, like I said, I look at Claiborne, I see him a lot on CNN, especially when he was on Don Lemon's show.
Yeah. And
some of his passion was warranted. I'm like, okay, but like he goes so far and then he kind of like stops.
Yeah, he ain't
like I don't know. I don't know if he's trying like not to get involved with the masses or be like, you know what, I said what I said and then that's enough. You know, he's an Omega, you know, and I'm just thinking, if I was like, okay, but then it's like I really can't think of anything that he's really done said. Like I know he wrote some kind of book or something.
He wrote the HR 40 bill.
Right, that's it. But what happened to it? Did it ever?
Nothing. I mean,
exactly, like it just stall or stop.
That HR 40 bill ain't what the paper is printed on, to be honest with you, because it's a big nothing. What Tariq calls a nothing burger, and I agree with him 100%. It's not really worth the paper that it's printed on.
And that's what I'm saying. It's just so hardening. Like they come with these awesome manifestos and rhetoric that we were like, yes, you know, that we can adapt to. But then when you're like, well, what happened to that? You know, what happened to that bit? It's like it just hauled or stalled or fell off the face of the earth. But yeah, he was very informative too. Well, why don't you go there and tell him who was the performing act? Oh,
the performing act was Kiki Wyatt. You know what? Let me say this about Kiki. Kiki can sing, but she can sing. But to be honest with you, I've heard better.
She can scream. No disrespect.
As y'all can see, my wife is not much of a fan.
No, she seems so childish to me.
Well, yeah.
I just don't understand. I don't know if it's because, like I said, I seen her when she had her reality show.
Yeah.
And I'm not trying to judge her on that fact, but she the one who put it on national TV. And just her mannerism and the way she feel about men, and you know, she thinks she got it going on because she's married with all these 11 kids, and I'm like, okay, girl, but they're not by the same man.
Yeah.
So. And then she got up there trying to jiggle her ass and do the twerk and it was just as like I told you, we was driving home, as poignant as that whole day of the expo was,
yeah,
they should have had someone else. I think if he can, I think he needs to get hooked up with like a NDRE.
Yeah.
Or a
Eric Benet was supposed to be there.
Ambrosia.
Eric Benet was supposed to be there.
See,
I mean, that would have been cool.
I just don't see how
she fit into the fold.
It's like it just shifted the whole day.
Right.
Like I mean, yeah, she got some hits. Don't get me wrong. My favorite song is the one she has with Avant, of course.
Which one?
But Long As I Live.
Okay, yeah, that's a good one. My first love.
Yeah, My First Love. But you know, the I don't know if it was an act or if that's what she normally do in her show.
Right.
But it just kind of like killed the whole mood. But then after that, that's when, you know, the others came out. His brother, who came out after
Bruce
her?
Islam. He shut the show down.
Yeah. So they kind of like, because if she would have, because the way the program read, like she was supposed to close out the show.
Yeah.
Glad she didn't. So I would have left there very disappointed because I would have forgot everything that happened early in the day.
Right.
Because I'll be talking about her performance.
Right.
But yeah, they need to look into getting someone else that'll be more.
What's going to be in Atlanta
more
next
conscious, relatable in their music to what they're trying to do in their expo.
What's going to be in Atlanta next year?
Okay, now I know they got some hard hitters.
Yeah, they got some heavy hitters down there. So
you know, hell, bring CeeLo Green on there.
I'll
take a CeeLo Green.
I like CeeLo. I like CeeLo.
No disrespect,
CeeLo was hot.
but
CeeLo was dope.
She just didn't do it for me. I'm sorry.
CeeLo was dope. I like CeeLo.
I'm sorry. But everything else, like I said, it was my first time going. I was very thoroughly impressed.
Yeah.
And would love to, especially if they haven't one in Atlanta, would love to get.
Oh yeah.
We'll get on that and attend that.
Well, let's do this. Let's do this. Let's make plans on going.
Right.
To see if we can go out there because there was a lot of vendors out there as well. A lot of people, man, local vendors. The one place that I wanted to go was to the chicken wing place because everybody was talking about how good the chicken wings are, and she ran out of chicken wings.
Yeah, I think they probably didn't think that many people was going to show up.
That's pretty much it.
And you know, we passed right by. They pulled up right when we was walking in. She probably wasn't expecting that many people to show, but it was quite a few people there.
There was a lot of folks there, man,
yeah.
And they tore them chicken wings up. I'm telling you, man. Everybody was getting the chicken wings and talking about how good they were.
Yeah, so they might, like I said, it was a beautiful event, very well done. I didn't see nothing wrong with it, but the next time just have some more options for food.
Yeah.
For food.
Yeah, I agree with you on that.
But there was some good vendors there as well.
Oh yeah, some really good ones, man. Some really good ones. They had all kinds of stuff there, man. I networked with a few people, so that's a good thing. And I guess that was the whole thing behind it.
I just say, I think that's the gist of it.
That's exactly it. So people can network with each other.
Right.
And I did. I networked with a few folks there, and yeah, that's gonna be pretty cool. So yeah, we had a pretty good weekend.
Day. A very good weekend.
Yeah, we had a good weekend. So, all right, let's get to these books. I got a few. Some of them I've been on the show before. I've talked about them on the show before, but this is the section that I call books every black person should read at least once in their lifetime. The first book, and I know you've read this one because you told me you did. Carter G. Woodson, The Miseducation of the Negro, which is the name of this particular episode. And it talks about just that, how the education system is racially biased towards people that look like us. But we know that already, don't we, babe?
Wholeheartedly, yes. Unfortunately, yes.
Yes, exactly. Yeah. Exactly. So, you know, so that's what this book is basically about. If you have not read it, if you are a quote-unquote educated black person and you have not read this book, then you ain't educated. That's all I got to say about that. Okay? So, and I know you've read it, so, you know, I ain't got to worry about you. But, you know, I look at it like this. Then, you know, if you ain't read this book, then, you know, I got questions.
Some people could be just like, you know, like I said before, you know, they just haven't, either they didn't know about it or just wasn't aware of it, or, you know. That's
possible. I mean, I'm not going to knock them for that.
Some people get busy, but yeah, I agree. It's a very informative,
it's a must read.
Eye-opener, make you say,
Exactly. It's a must read.
It's a different facet of the book. Yeah, you'll come away with different emotions about a lot of different things.
Especially about the education system that we have here. And another book that I know you've read, W.E.B. Du Bois, The Soul of Black Folks.
Oh God, yes, definitely.
Good book, really good book. That's one of the first books that I've read from one of our upper echelon people. That's one of the first ones I've read. It's been a while since I've read it, I need to read it again.
Oh, I just want to say it's been a moment, but it's never won't hurt to reread it again. Yeah.
Of course not. No, some of the books I've read all of my books at least twice, all of them.
Well, so I need to get back to that because I haven't picked up a book in a minute, but I need to.
Oh yeah. So, and the next book I have is a classic in history books, as far as our history, by Mr. J.A. Rogers. This is a classic, man. It's called 100 Amazing Facts About the Negro with Complete Proof. Mm-hmm. This one, if you're not really up on Black history, this is a good stepping stone for you to get into the fold of Black history. This is a really good jump off point. It's a really quick read. I mean, it's less than 100 pages, so you get through it pretty quick. But with J.A. Rogers, who was a historian and a journalist himself, what he does is he shows you the proof of everything that he's talking about. Mm-hmm. And that's the beauty of this book.
He brings those receipts.
Mm-hmm. Exactly. That's exactly it.
That's what we need, because some people don't believe it until they see it in black and white.
Exactly. Here's another classic book, Before the Mayflower, by Mr. LaRon Bennett Jr. Now I have 2 books by him. This one and another one that's not, I don't really have a picture of it up. It's called The Shaping of Black America. That's a really good one as well. He wrote both of those. Mm-hmm. And he has a set of books that I hold near and dear to my heart. The Ebony Pictorial Guide, the Ebony Pictorial History of Black America. I love those books. I read those books when I was a child. Mm-hmm. But this book right here is a jump off point for people that don't know much about history, about Black history here in the United States. But that's what this is about. And last but not least, the last book by Dr. Claude Anderson, called A Black History Reader, 101 Questions You Never Thought to Ask. Good read. I mean, it's got a lot of historical facts in there, so check that out, y'all. You got a bold word?
Well, in honor of what today is for Memorial Day, I'm just going to pay homage to our men and women of the armed forces, our servicemen and women, however you want to look at it. And just don't look at it as a day off of work or a day to do the first barbecue of the year.
Right.
Look at it as a time to maybe go back and look at some of the good Black films that was made in honor of Memorial Day. Mm-hmm. Such films as Glory.
That good one.
Or Miracle at St. Anna.
Oh, that was a good one.
And let's see. A Soldier's Story.
Oh, I love that movie.
Although let's just look at it as a day to pay the Tuskegee Airmen.
Another really good one.
Just a good one to just go down and maybe sit down with your children and look at some of the way that Black men was, even though they were segregated, they still went out there and fought for this country, even though they could get back to the barracks and get called out their name, get spit on, let the white people eat before them, probably wouldn't even take a shower because wouldn't be no more hot water by the time they get, stuff like that. But they still went out there every day and fought for our freedom.
And let me say this about that real quick. Let me pick it back off that real quick. The Tuskegee Airmen, they had a nickname, the Red Tails. Okay? Now, throughout my years, my 51 years of living, I have met a couple of Red Tails. Those dudes literally went through hell. I mean, out of all the missions that they flew, they never once lost an escort.
Yeah.
Never. Now, there was a guy, a white historian, go figure, that was trying to dispute and disclaim that they did lose at least one. He couldn't find anything.
Obviously, if you don't have them receipts.
He couldn't find anything because their missions are documented. Well documented. They never lost an escort. So,
shout out to those brothers.
Yeah, shout out to the Tuskegee Airmen, man.
Some of us can be petty because I probably been like, man, they spit on me this morning. Called me out my name this morning. Oops, I didn't see it. It would have I didn't see it. I couldn't protect it, but they went out there and did their job 100% each and every time. So.
And again, like I said, I applaud anybody that's willing to fight for a country that won't fight for you.
Right, exactly.
I applaud anybody for that'll have the guts to do that, because I'm like my wife. I'm very petty. Hell, my wife knows I'm petty.
Very, but excuse me. Yeah, but
we gotta agree like that. Damn.
I mean, you know, proof is in the receipts. Proof is in the pudding. But yeah, but that just like I said, is you gotta be tough skin to know, you know, what might happen to you or what might have happened to you before you even got in the plane.
Right.
And to still do your job 100%.
Oh man, yeah, that's something right there.
Awesome.
Like I said, I applaud anybody that fight for a country that won't fight
Absolutely.
for them. I do. I applaud that. But,
so in honor of a woman, a bold word, I would like to just pay again. Yes, it is Memorial Day, but we did have some awesome servicemen and women of color who fought and died for this freedom to give us our freedom. I mean, fought for this country to give us our freedom. So,
right.
Thank you.
Yes, indeed. Yes, indeed. Well, let's get to this current events. What you got? I know you got some doozies. Look, let me just say this real quick before my wife gets started. When she takes a deep breath like that, it's some shit.
All the time. You know. we got some good, but then we got some, you know, this. Okay, let me just start. Last week in the podcast, you know, I think one of the stories that I did was about the NAACP had issued a travel warning to black people about going to Florida.
Yeah.
Soon as we got off the air.
As soon as we got off the air,
a story popped up, and I read, and I quote, Ted Cruz said Martin Luther King Jr. would be ashamed of the NAACP Florida travel warning, but MLK's daughter Bernice King disagreed. I am so proud that nobody let him get away by saying that, and I'm so proud that it was one of his own family members who knew him better than any of us. Would have told her no, my dad would have been ashamed.
Yeah, he would have been.
So I just don't understand where all this rhetoric comes from. I mean, it has been, if you guys been keeping with the news like I did, or like I do, or like we do, I'm sure a lot of you guys do. Something is going on in Florida.
I don't know what the hell.
That is becoming like this man, and this man I mean Mr. DeSantis, and I'm using that very lightly because I could call him so much more.
Mr. DeClantis.
Exactly. He is trying to take us back 100 years. Don't really know why.
Yeah.
But Ted Cruz, he always got his name up in some bull. You know what I'm saying? It's like, just sometimes it's better to don't say nothing at all.
Here's the thing about both of them, though. Both of them are descended from immigrants.
Mm-hmm.
DeSantis' people are from Italy.
Mm-hmm.
Ted Cruz's people are from what? Cuba?
Mm-hmm.
And they immigrated here? Mm-hmm. And now all of a sudden they know more about America than anybody else?
Right.
Come on, man. I find something wrong with that picture.
So, like I said, Governor Ron DeSantis, he's banning programs in schools and critical race theory and so much more, especially when it comes to black people. So I would be remiss if the NAACP didn't speak up, and the reason why they issued this I guess, for lack of a better word, warning. I mean, really that's what it was, a travel warning.
Yeah.
They said because due to the state's unrelenting attacks on fundamental freedoms of blacks. So you can see it. They try to take out the Divine Nine.
Yep.
They taking out books. We have another story related to some of the books in the schools.
Yeah.
Abortion, especially, you know, and healthcare, especially for black women.
Yep.
I mean, I hate to put it up, but people of color and LGBTQ plus. I mean, he has his moments. They get a little bit more leeway than us, but the diversity and all the CRT and the banning of books and the Divine Line, he just doing too much. It's just, that's why I asked, what is he trying to do there? Here come old Ted Cruz trying to get his name tacked onto it. Man, sit down somewhere. Mr. DeSantis don't need no help.
Trust me.
Of being a racist.
Trust me. He got that down pat.
Got it. He number one slot.
Thank you.
He don't need no co-host. He don't.
No, he don't.
No, what you call him, tag team duo. He don't need no Robin. You not bad. You know, I mean, Batman. So He don't need no. He good. He got it all together.
Exactly. And I want to get onto that real quick. Now, when Donald Trump, who we all know was a racist bastard, is distancing himself from him, you know it's bad.
Now you know when Donald Trump done mailed you a nasty nickname, oh, you in for the kill.
Oh, for sure.
And he has like those other opponents that's running against him. He hasn't have no nickname for him.
He ain't said nothing about him yet.
Very nasty ones for Mr. DeSantis. So I'm like, okay.
Yeah, exactly.
I have nothing to say.
Exactly.
But I would like to say what Bernice said about her father. She said, no, Ted Cruz is wrong. What my father would be deeply concerned about is the harmful, discriminatory legislation that's going on in Florida.
Come on now.
Wholeheartedly agree.
Come on now.
Wholeheartedly agree. So, shout out to her, and I'm pretty sure her family's behind her 100% because they saw their father literally lost his life to make sure that we have equality.
Yeah.
And then hear this man coming along and trying to take all that away.
Of course.
So shout out to Sister Bernice King and Ted Cruz. Go have a Snicker bar and have a good day. Thank you. Moving on.
Hold on, baby.
Okay.
I just want to say real quick, I love it when my wife gets like this, man. I love it.
It's just some stuff in the world. It boggles my mind, and I think some people always clout chasing.
That's exactly
clout chasing. Because just like I said, Sansan don't need no help from nobody of being a racist.
Hello.
He got that sold up 100% lock, stock, and barrel.
Oh, he got it hooked up.
So Ted Cruz come and talk about what the NAACP, he should just kept it to himself.
I agree. What else you got?
Okay, quote unquote, reach out the 1950s Virginia cheer coach received anonymous emails saying black woman is not a good fit for high school team because she's what? Colored. First of all, who still use the word color? Racist
white people.
Second of all, they said she had hard features. So now you talking about how the lady look. And the story is this happened in Virginia. This story is so asinine to me because I read it. First of all, you a coward and a punk because you sent an anonymous email, put your full name, your address, and your social security number if you stand so true in your convictions. So obviously you don't. Third, I think they mad because the lady before her was a black lady, and they come around and say, by hiring these black cheer coaches, it's bringing down a prestigious name that our cheerleader team has made over the years. Interesting. And so we highly suggest that going forward, no more black people be hired in this position. That's a little, I'm not saying it, but that sounds a little racist to me. What my skin tone have to do if I'm showing some girl how to jump and flip in the air?
Let me ask you a question.
Wait a minute. If I have the credentials, have a seat.
Let me ask you a question, baby. What have I always said on the show? The one thing that's worse than a racist white man is what?
A racist white woman.
Hello.
But see, they don't know if it's a woman or not because it's a anonymous email.
I'm thinking it's a woman. I'm guessing. I might be wrong, but I'm guessing it's a woman.
What this lady features have to do with her being an awesome coach?
Not a damn thing.
And then she come back and say that the girls was feeling a little infuriated toward her. I'm like, oh, because they probably have a black person telling them what they doing wrong.
That's exactly it.
Possibly?
That's exactly it. You hit the nail on the head.
But shout out to her. The lady who quit, she said she quit because she wasn't getting enough support from the administration. Okay. And so they showed this letter to her, the previous black cheer coach, and she started crying.
Here's the thing.
She said, I cannot believe that this is happening. She said, because now it makes me wonder, was she not getting support because of her being black?
Let me tell you this. To whoever wrote that letter, this is for you.
That's it. I'm through.
And this is for you as well. Hold on. Where is it at? Hold on. Where is it? Oh, here you go. I got something for you right quick. This is for you.
Yo, mama.
Hello.
No, not your mama. Oh my God. Well, shout out to this prestigious cheer league. I hope they get what they want. I hope the next person they hire is a white lady, and I hope she get them back, whatever they feel like they need that these other two previous black cheerleading coach wasn't doing for their team. Well, that's ridiculous.
Well,
and they right. This is right out the 1950s. Calling somebody colored.
Hell yeah! I'm telling you, I'm thinking it's a woman. I'm guessing it's a woman.
How can you not be a good fit? Okay.
Let it go, babe. Okay. Smile the way.
She's not. She's not in no operating room.
Smile and wave.
She's not no judge sitting on a bench.
Even if she was, what
she's a
was it
cheerleader coach. So how much damage could she have done for y'all to say she's not a good fit? Fit for what? And I'm not a cheerleader. But I do know of some cheerleaders, yes. But I don't think it's brain surgery. I'm not putting cheerleading down.
You're not knocking it.
But I don't think it's find a cure for cancer.
Yeah, exactly. It's not necessarily rocket science, is it?
Exactly. Okay. Maybe it's me, but we're gonna move on. This is one of my favorite stories because we have several times mentioned it on the show before. Quote unquote, no bonnets, no house shoes, no pajama bottoms. Yes. A dress code at a dentist's office caused a stare on Twitter. Some say it's anti-black and prejudice against poor people. If you were listening to the show, If you was listening to the show last week, my esteemed co-host, which is my husband, Mr. Reggie O, pretty much did a very nice interruption of the show to voice his concerns of what he saw one day when he went to Wally World, aka Walmart. And then here we are, the same thing here at this dentist's office. And they trying to put her down. Let me say this. This is my personal take. These are my melanated thoughts.
Well, turn the music down.
You can leave it on. I concur. I agree. Just like I agree with Reggie O last week, I agree with this dental office. There is a time and place for everything. Let's break it down. It is said house shoes.
Thank you.
What that mean? Leave them in the house?
Thank you.
Worm in the house? Bonnet. Be on at night. That's what I fucking say. Be on at night. Bonnet.
I like that.
Excuse me. Pajama bottoms. When do you normally wear pajamas?
When you go to bed.
When you go to bed. So when you're stepping out your home into the public eye, why would you want to look like you just rolled out of bed?
Let me just say this real quick.
I don't get it. So I wholeheartedly concur with this lady. Kudos to you. I don't know if it's a female doctor or
it's a female doctor.
Kudos to her, because I would love it. Because baby, if I had walked to her dentist's office and seen that, I probably would have turned around. I'm thinking, okay, this no.
Here's the thing, and I have said this several times on this very same podcast. Now, I don't care what my wife has on. She's beautiful as hell to me, just like right now.
Aww.
Okay? But I can tell you right now, if she need to go somewhere right this very second, I can promise you she will not step outside that door unless she is on point.
I need to fully do it. I need 2 hours. To quickly, give me about 30 minutes or 45 minutes.
But I can tell you right now, even if it's a 30 to 45 minute thing, she ain't gonna step out this house unless she's dressed, unless she's on point.
I'm gonna say I'm presentable. I'm gonna be.
Yeah,
presentable.
you're gonna be. That's the word I'm looking for. That's perfect.
Right.
That's perfect.
It's just because just like you did last week, you simply walked in Walmart and you saw this girl pretty much showing her nipples, and you said she was a healthy chick.
Yeah.
See how you noticed her? And it probably was a small person on the next side, probably worse than her, but you notice her because of what? She's a healthy person. It's just my take on it.
Right.
But at the same thing with me, I always said that they're gonna look like we went to the expo Saturday.
Oh Lord.
And I walked into the women's restroom. I don't know what's wrong with us women with keeping these restrooms, but we need to do better. But when I walked in that restroom, I don't know if somebody had just killed a tuna fish or if somebody had just opened up a can of tuna or sardines or something. I said, let me hear, but get my ass out of here, because if they come here, they gonna blame me because I'm the big girl. You know what I'm saying? Because that's been a myth. All big people think, which is a lie. So I don't know. Like I said, I concur wholeheartedly, because it is so disgusting to me personally when I see it. I don't understand. Okay, I'll make an exception. If you was in so much pain, because I've been in a tooth pain like that before, but I dragged a rag combed my hair, and I went on to the dentist's office. I didn't go in no pajama bottoms, no house shoes, and no bonnets.
There are exceptions to every rule.
Exactly.
Okay, I will say this: unless it is a die-hard emergency, I mean a die-hard emergency, sisters, have a little bit of decorum about yourself. That's all we're saying. I'm not knocking my sisters. I love sisters. I'm married to a sister. I'm happily married to a sister. Let me just say that real quick. Okay, we're not knocking the sisters. This ain't a black or white thing.
I am because I am a sister, and it disgusts me.
Right.
Sister, Hispanic, whoever, women in general, but especially sisters.
Especially us. Especially
because that's what they think about us anyway.
Exactly, and the only thing you're doing is making it worse.
You adding to their narrative by walking in there and they're talking about what they call a stereotypical moment right here. Check.
There you go. Exactly.
You know, and then what I don't understand, why did they cause such a big stir on Twitter? I don't get it. Well, hell, look. To me, people are like I said, this is my thought. People are open to their own opinion.
Right.
You can have but I don't think it's people. You judge her? No, I'm not judging her. I don't think that's placing judgment on somebody like that.
We went to
excuse me,
True Kitchen and Cocktail. Remember that? Mm-hmm. We love that joint.
Yeah.
You can't step in that joint unless you dress up.
Nope. And I heard too. I haven't been. I went by there the last time I was in Houston. It was so crowded. But I heard the Turkey Hut. the Turkey Hut in Houston, Texas now has a dress code. I ain't mad at that, brother.
I ain't mad either.
At all.
I ain't mad. See, here's the thing about it. When it comes to us and what we have, if we say you can't come in here looking like any and everything.
Like my mom would say, who done it and why?
Who done it and why?
Right.
Right. You can't step in here. See, when it comes to us, if we say that you can't come in here looking like who done it and why, they got a problem with it. Go into a white establishment. You won't have nothing to say. You'll take your ass home and change clothes and come back.
It's a parody that I've seen. Shout out to TikTok. It's a parody that I've seen on TikTok where they show these girls walking in Walmart with house shoes on, bonnets on, pajamas on, but then they go in the closet and get their finest attire to go to Target, which is Target.
Yep.
So what's the difference?
There is no difference.
They're both big box stores. They pretty much sell the same thing.
Yeah,
so why would you put on decent clothes to go to Target, but then go to Walmart World looking like you just rolled out of bed?
Mm-hmm.
If someone can answer that for me, I will eat my words. But right now, I wholeheartedly agree with this dinner. So shout out to you, ma'am.
Hold on, let me give her a clap, man. Amen, sister.
So I don't know. Where is one more thing about this, and where this narrative that it's making it's a what is it? They trying to say that it's a damage to poor people?
No, it's not.
Because I done seen some people. I know that they are okay financially, and they still don't be like, no, why the hell you got that on? And I love her sign. It says no bonnets, no house shoes, no pajama bottom. We will be happy to reschedule your appointment.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, sister.
Thank you. So I don't know what part it is that she's being negative toward poor people. No, just don't come in my establishment looking like that.
Thank you.
And that is not racist at all.
No, it's not. I mean, she wants somebody to have some decorum about themselves. I ain't mad at her because of that.
Exactly. So shout out to her. So yes, I agree. I have nothing wrong with. I have nothing bad to say about this story. So for people, stop judging her and tell her that she's being racist, because this is not racist. What DeSantis is doing is racist.
For real.
Because I don't see nothing wrong with this.
Me either.
Okay, next story.
Go ahead.
Now this story I'm just a little confused about, because life brings changes. Things happen every day.
Right.
Quote unquote, call the police. An unhinged white man crashes into a wall moments after hurling the N-word at a motorist. Now he faces hate crime charges. First of all, this man is 61 years old.
Oh, come on. That was a seasoned racist.
I mean... He going down the freeway. It's a nice video. If you guys can go out there and check it out. It's a nice video. He's in a cute Jeep, because I want me a Jeep. He's in one of the cute little Jeeps that I want, giving the person the finger, talking about fuck you, nigger. And so the person that he was hurling, is around my throat. Excuse me. The person that he was hurling the insults towards pull out their camera and start recording. All this time he steady looking over at the car, going with his little negative, nasty rhetoric. Boom, ran into a wall. Now, what I have to say about that, cut the music out.
Hold on.
Karma is a bitch. Bring the music back up. Because here you are, now your truck is wrecked. Cute little Jeep, like I said, now it's wrecked. And you finna get some charges against you because you're being a full-blown racist and you was caught on on camera that has gone viral. Wow! Y'all gonna watch it? Y'all gonna watch what y'all say? First of all, road rage is,
Hold on. I got a better one.
I love it. Exactly. My sister used to say, sometimes I used, not now, I have really, really calmed down, but I used to be a road rager. Hey, my name is Mimi the Lady. I was a road rager. Because I just felt like, why are you in the left lane and you're going 2 and the speed limit says 70? Let's move it over. And I used to run up on people and stuff like that. I must admit I was wrong. But now these people are getting out of hand with this road rage, shooting people and things like that.
Oh man, yeah.
But going down, even that person cut you off, whatever your motive was for throwing this rhetoric toward these people, the N-word is never okay. Giving the finger, I can admit too, I have done that.
I do that now.
I have done that too. But I have never called nobody out their name or anything like that. And so Karma got his booty, and now he has a wrecked truck, and he's going to be charged with different crime. But this is the part of the story that got me.
Oh Lord, she took a deep breath. It's gonna be a doozy.
He's a former sex offender. Yeah, he was charged with allegedly, you got to say that word, allegedly stalking a 19-year-old woman and making obscene phone calls to her house. And during the probe, into the accusations, the police searched his home and found videotapes of black males committing child sexual abuse.
Hold on.
And so that led to his conviction, and he did some time for that. So obviously, I went to church yesterday.
Go ahead.
So this is in my spirit. So obviously, he didn't learn his lesson the last time he was in jail. So brothers, in the Alameda County prison system, or any prison system he go to in the area,
man, they gonna pass
y'all need to turn that ass up.
Oh, they will.
Y'all need to teach him a lesson that he obviously did not learn the first time he was in jail. Keep your hands off kids.
Oh, come on.
And I'm really finna show you what the word nigga mean.
Let me tell you something.
That's just how I feel.
Let me tell you something. You got people in your family that went to prison just like I did.
Yeah, absolutely.
And I can tell you right now, every single last one of them people that I know that in my family that went to prison tell you the same thing. The one thing that they hate is somebody that does something to children.
Do something. Yep, that's what I'm saying. Y'all need to teach him. Look, obviously he didn't get the first couple.
Oh, don't worry, he gonna get it this
there.
time.
So y'all need to just, when he shit, it come out his mouth. It just go into another direction because his ass gonna be so. It's gonna be so that he can't pass. He can't do a number 2.
His farts won't make a sound.
So the only way they gonna come out either through his nose or his mouth, because this man needs a wake up call.
Oh, don't worry, he
seriously.
gonna get it. Oh, don't worry, he gonna get it.
61.
Don't worry, he gonna get
Child
it.
molester.
They're gonna tear his ass up, literally.
So, good luck with that, sir. You really finna feel the word nigga.
Man. Oh yeah, Big Bubba and Ice Pig gonna tear his ass up.
Right. So now this story, we spoke about it previously on the show about the young man who named Jordan Neely, who was choked to death.
Right,
literally,
that's pretty much it.
On the subway in Manhattan.
Right.
Well, the young man who did the choking, Daniel Penny, is insisting that he is not a white supremacist. He's insisting that the deadly chokehold had nothing to do with race.
What?
I have a problem. Like I said, I done spoken this before. The man only wanted something to eat, and he wanted something to drink. There has been several people they have interviewed and witnesses that's come forth and said, I did not feel any threat from this man. This man was just screaming out for help. That's all they were saying. Now, there has been some who felt like, I felt threatened. We know who those are, your Karens and your Kens. But what I don't like about this story, let me see if I can find, I wrote it down, hold on. I kind of marked it. Oh, God. I hate when they get okay, here it is. When they ask him about the situation, this is what he said, and I quote, I mean, it's a little bit comical. Everybody who's ever met me can tell you I love all people. I love all cultures. You can tell by my past and my travels and adventures around the world. This is the part I hate right here. I was actually planning a road trip through Africa. Why do they always feel like they have to bring up something about what they have done for black people or where they have been where there is majority black people? Man, I can't stand that. I can't stand that.
That right there is one of those things that I absolutely hate. And the reason why I hate it is because when something like, it's like you said, when something like that happens, the first thing they start saying is they either got a black friend, they got black people in their family, so on and so forth.
Yeah.
So on and so forth. But when was it, now, my question to them would be, when was the last time that black friend been to your house?
Right.
When's the last time you hung out with that black friend? I ain't talking about the dude that you kick it with at work. When's the last time you actually hung out with that so-called black friend? When? I mean, that's my question. But anyway, I say it to say this. They always come back with that rhetoric of that, I'm not a racist.
Right.
Then why did you choke that man out? All you had to do was ignore him.
He said he felt like he was threatening people and making
he wasn't.
People on the train feel inferior. Like, I felt like I was in danger.
Well, nobody in danger. That man was just expressing his frustration with being hungry.
Right. Well, Brother Penny, I really, if I'm not gonna knock who you are. If this is you, if you felt like you didn't do nothing wrong, shout out to you, brother. But we seen the video. Yep. Like they always say, run the tape. They ran the tape
several times over,
and it looks like you killed this man.
Pretty much.
You killed this man, and all he was doing was pretty much asking for help.
That's all he was doing.
He was asking for help. So your stance is your stance, my stance is my stance, but you killed this man.
Basically.
You killed him. Now this story is I don't know if I want to do this one because I want to make sure we lead into this. Let me go ahead and we're going to do a feel-good story now because this other story going to lead into the show's topic.
Okay.
A Newark dad graduates with master's degree while working 3 jobs and solo parenting a 9-year-old child. The reason why he said he did it is because of his child is his why. That is so melted my heart when I read this story that he took it upon himself to do these things because he wanted success for him and his son, but mostly his son. Oh my God, that is so
I love it.
I know. That is so beautiful. I'm sure I'm just go ahead and put his name out there. His name is Desmond Durham, and he graduated from Montclair State University. And his mom and his family was there. And she is so proud of him. She said she's seen him work his way through the bone. He never missed anything with his son. And I'm just, for lack of a better word, he did the damn thing. And I am just so proud of him, especially a young black man. Kudos to you, sir. Godspeed. All your success and your dreams come true, and especially in the eyes of your son. Beautiful, beautiful story.
Well,
love it.
Well, let me just say this real quick, ladies and gentlemen that's listening, and that will listen to the rebroadcast of this. Every so often we do a feel-good story, and this is one of those feel-good stories that we need to acknowledge because that brother worked not 1, not 2, but 3 jobs, went to school, got his master's degree. So he can have a better life for him and his son. Now, mind you, he's a single dad.
Oh, yeah. And he said, I'm going to read his quote. He said, my son, he's my why, and he's the reason why I executed. When he's looking at me, I got to keep moving. Oh,
come on, man.
That is amazingly beautiful. Man. So shout out to you, Mr. Durham. Kudos to you. Good example for your son. Awesome.
Beautiful story, man.
Well, I hate to follow up this story with this story, but it all plays into the same. You have your yin and you have your yang.
Of course.
Quote unquote, people gonna always have an opinion. California mom unfazed by comments on her appearance at son's kindergarten graduation. Now I know this story has made national news. Everyone probably have seen it. But a California mom says she's unmoved by comments of her attire at her son's kindergarten graduation ceremony, where she showed up with a tank crop top and unbuttoned, unzipped. They say jean shorts, but we know what they call
booty shorts.
This was so disgusting to me. And you and I had a conversation yesterday. We were coming back from lunch from the expo yesterday. And you know, I love to play devil's advocate. I like to pull people's coat. But honestly, from heart to heart, I am so embarrassed for her as a black mother, as a black woman, as a female. She could be highly educated. She's a beautiful woman. She could be highly educated. She could be the sweetest person you know, but just because of what she has on and where she chose to wear it, she is getting such negative press at this time.
Now,
do I agree? But do I understand?
Let me chime in.
I don't know. My emotions are torn on this.
Let me chime in on that. As a man,
I was just gonna say, tell her from a perspective of black. Yeah, from a man. Okay, go ahead.
As a man, that's number one. And as a father, I can honestly tell you that my biological daughter and my stepdaughter, they know how I am when it comes to a woman looking like, when it comes to them looking and acting like ladies. Now, from a man's perspective, if we see somebody dressed like that, we're gonna start automatically thinking she's easy. She might not be easy.
That's what I'm saying. She could be.
She might be. She might be the most frigid person on the planet. We don't know that. But when we see you dressed like that, the first thing we're gonna start doing, in the words of Eddie Griffin, dick talk.
What's they say? You know, some start moving in your pants.
Exactly, some start moving in your pants. You know what I mean? So, I mean, as a father, I would not want my daughter to be seen like that.
Right.
That's number one. And number two, if she had any kind of decorum about herself, she would not have dressed like that. That's number two. And number three, she dressed like that for a reason, to get attention.
Well, see, this is where I'm torn. I agree with her.
Can nobody tell you what to wear? I agree with you 100%. I agree with you that. I agree with you on that.
Or like I was saying yesterday, this could be all she had to wear.
I doubt it.
This could be all she have. This is probably what all her clothes look like. You never know.
I'm not going to say no.
That's why I'm torn, because I don't know.
I'm not going to say no. I'm not going to say that's all she had. I'm not going to say that's all she had. I'm not going to say that's all she has in her closet. I doubt that. I'm just saying, I'm just saying she dressed like that for a reason, to get attention. That's the only reason why she dressed like that.
Well, I feel you on that, because some of the people were trying to make insinuation that, you know, where's the father? Where's the father? So maybe she was looking for a father for her son at the graduation. That's probably why she dressed like that. But then you still have to keep in mind, sugar, that you're going around children who are very impressionable.
Thank you.
Whose mind are like gigantic sponges.
Yes.
And they might ask their mommy, what is that she got on? Because
exactly.
they gonna hear you talking about it, which gonna make them turn their head and look at her, and they gonna be like, okay, what is it? You know, then that's when you have to explain some stuff.
Not to mention, you got some women out there that's got husbands and or boyfriends that were there.
But they did try to say, you know, even though there was no father present, maybe that's why, but a lot of people were on her side saying, well, regardless of how she dressed, she is there to support her son.
I agree.
Because a lot of people didn't even show up at all. They chose to go to work to come to their child's graduation.
That doesn't negate the fact that she came to a school dressed like that. I'm sorry. That's just like, women coming to school dressed like that and women coming to school dressed like they just got out the bed. I don't like that either.
I just want to say it's no difference between the bonnets and the pajamas to me.
That's what I'm getting at. That's my whole point. Thank you, babe. You just proved my whole point. That's exactly what I was getting at.
What make this worse is that they're unzipped and they're unbuttoned and your booty cheeks are hanging out.
Hello. You saw the picture?
Yeah, I'm looking at the picture now. And at least with the pajama, your ass is covered. You know.
Good point, but
it's still to me there is no difference. It's all in the same book.
Yep.
So, of course, this has caused a stare, and the only thing she can say is she don't care what people say. She's gonna do it her way.
Okay, and you're entitled to do that, sister.
She said, "Quote: This my son and my body. I wear what the f I want. People gonna always have an opinion that will never move me. Get out y'all feelings and get y'all a bag."
Well, let's go to show you her mentality. Well, that's why she's dressed like that. That's why she's dressed like that. Look at how she's talking. Her vernacular, her speech pattern right there just tells me everything I need to know about her.
So I was like, well, that says a lot.
No whole lot.
But again, like she said, we can't tell her how to dress, but
I agree.
There is a time and a place for everything, and
exactly.
That my sister was not the place.
Obviously,
and I'm gonna finish with saying this: do better.
Obviously, I'm just gonna go ahead and say it. Obviously, she don't have any older people that can pull her coat and say, "Nah, don't wear that."
Obviously not. But even if they did say, she said she gonna do whatever she wants to.
Okay, all right, that's part of the problem.
And my final story, or final current event of the day, it bothers me.
Let's hear it.
Here we are again, relating to the DeSantis era. A mother who wanted Amanda Grimm's inaugural poem banned from Florida school has links to Proud Boys. Freely admits she's never read the poem. "Quote unquote, I'm not a reader."
Really?
Now, I'm gonna kind of explain to you what she's talking about. Amanda Grimm's poem entitled "The Hill We Climb" is a spoken word poem written by herself, Amanda Grimm, and recited by her at the inauguration of Joe Biden on his inauguration in 2021.
She won a contest to get into that thing.
She did.
Yeah.
And
I remember that.
The reasoning for the poem, or the gist of the poem, is to celebrate the United States not as a perfect union, quote unquote, but as a country that has the grit to struggle with its all too real problem, because we have problems in America.
Lots of them.
Also, the poem was written to call for unity and collaboration and togetherness. Now, when this story first busts out, this mother, again, single-handedly was trying to get this poem removed from the books from her children's school. Her name is...
Put her name out there, please.
Daily Salinas. I guess her first name is Daily. Daily Salinas. And if you go
white
to,
Hispanic.
Yeah, that's what I just want to say. Daily. Okay. Again, like always, this is in Florida. And on her social media page, in the past, she has posted memes about like anti-Semitic, and she's attended several other Proud Boys rallies. And so this is her rhetoric. Before the poem, as far as with the poem, she also wants to ban books from the library, and the name of the school is the Bob Graham Education Center in Miami Lakes, Florida. She wants to the name of the books, this is what she want to get removed from the list: Black History, the ABCs of Black History, Love to Langston, Countries in the News, Cuba, and Cuba Kids. Now, let me say this. I personally have read Love to Langston. And Love to Langston is poems written by other people
About Langston Hughes.
About Langston Hughes.
Yeah.
And the reason why she says she wants to get this particular book removed from the list, because she said that it had a lot of critical race theory and quote unquote indirect hate messages. How if they're writing a letter about what they thought about Langston Hughes and the way he wrote his poem, the way he was raised, his childhood, all the different travels that he went on, and his dream of writing poetry be considered hate?
Well, you said right there yourself that that she's not an avid reader.
Okay, that's what I'm gonna say. So that's why I'm gonna go to the end. So when she said that, then she put that out there. She was wholeheartedly, real stern in her conviction. And then all of a sudden, people started saying that. You hear that? Something playing. You hear that? Oh, that's on me. I'm sorry. That's my thing. Hold on. So she was real strong in her conviction, and then she came out and said that, then people started saying, well, I seen her at a couple of the Proud Boys rally, and other like racist things that she had on a shirt that says "My Proud Boys." And so I guess she started thinking, you know what, this not a good look for me. Then she go bust out and said, well, I haven't really read the poem. I'm not really a reader,
That's kind of obvious.
No, it's kind of ridiculous. And then she come back and said, well, I'm really not a reader. They have to read for me because I'm not an expert. I'm not a reader. I'm not a book person. I'm a mom involved in my children's education.
Okay, let me stop you right there. Okay, so
I don't get it.
Correct me if I'm wrong. Mm-hmm. You said when you were reading that people have to read stuff for
her children. Her children
have to read stuff for her. So they
have to read for me because I'm not an expert.
So in other words, she's illiterate.
And this is who we're trying to get out here in Florida to remove books from the school system.
So that's just like
from this particular school, girl.
So because she's not a reader, you want books taken out of the library.
I'm just gonna say what came to my mind when I thought about this story. This is a follower. She's not a leader.
No, she's not. Far from it.
I don't know if someone probably came to her and told her that we'll give you X amount of dollars if you step up and protest this book. Mm-hmm. Because obviously she didn't do her homework, because she should have read the poem by Miss Amanda,
or had somebody read it for her.
Exactly. She should have went out there and read Langston books. She should have read the ABCs of Black History. It would have known it has nothing to do with critical race theory or hatred. I just don't get that. People they get on the bandwagon and be going real hard, but don't know the gist of it, don't know the history of it, and it makes you look like an asshole.
Malcolm X said it best.
An illiterate asshole.
Malcolm X said it best. One of my favorite Malcolm X quotes: "If you don't stand for something, you fall for anything."
And that's a shame. And you have children. You have children. I am not an expert. I am not a reader. I'm not a book person. And so have you picked up any type of book, ma'am?
Well, see, here's the thing about it. And I've heard people say that very same thing. I don't read. Well, you should. And here's my whole deal. So because you are not a reader and you want books banned out the library,
exactly.
That's just like me. Now, I don't like tomatoes. You know that. That's just like me saying, okay, I don't want no more tomatoes in this house. Mm-hmm. Would that be fair to you?
No, it would not. Because I love tomatoes.
She loves tomatoes. I would never say that. I just pick the tomatoes out. Shit, I ain't got to eat them. But I'm just saying, if you are that... let me just say this real quick. You're my wife. I'm an avid reader. Mm-hmm. I got books all over this house. Mm-hmm. And just because you're not an avid reader, you don't tell me, get your books out my damn way. So,
and never will.
Exactly. So, and I love you for that. But when you have people out there that's not avid readers want to ban a book, which you should never ever ban a book. I don't care what book it is. If it's a book out there that I don't like, guess what? I ain't got to read it. Somebody else might like it. So knock yourself out.
Well, she's been successful. She had
Of course she was.
2 books removed so far that's speaking of sexual behavior, and kind of illustrating to children about sex.
Well, yeah.
It is what it is. If you don't want your child to know, if you feel like you should explain the birds and the bees to your child, that's on you. But see, I saw this meme the other day, which made me giggle so hard. I feel sorry for parents these days because they're going to have to learn how to explain the birds and the bees, the birds on birds, the bees on bees, the birds trying to be a bee but want to date a bird. You got a lot to explain. You got a lot to explain with all these LBQTA. It's a lot of pansexual. It's a lot of sexual related things going on out here. So if you don't want them to get the gist of it or the basics of it from a book, and you think you know everything to tell about all these different avenues of sexual history, you go right ahead. I'm not a parent, but to all the parents that feel like that they should ban all sexual books and any books at all, you go right. Why would you ban a book?
I wouldn't.
What has that book done to you?
Nothing. I look at it like this.
God,
if there's a book in the library that I don't want to read, guess what? I ain't going to pick that book up.
You do not have to check it out.
You don't have to check that book out.
At all.
Somebody else can check it out.
You don't have to go to Barnes & Noble and buy it. You don't have to do... You can go right past that book, leave it on the shelf.
But let me ask you a personal question.
God.
But let me ask you a personal question.
Mm-hmm.
Have you read To Kill a Mockingbird?
Oh, God, how many times? And I think that was straight.
That's on the book ban list. Yeah. To Kill a Mockingbird is on the book ban list. I've read it too.
Wow.
It's on the book ban list.
Okay, so what part of that is racist?
Nothing. It's about a black man going to trial for killing a white woman.
So is that racist?
Nope.
I'm gonna say this.
Oh, I take that back. It's about a black man wrongfully accused of killing a white woman.
Yeah, and that's not racist either. Well, technically it is.
Well, technically it is, but
but not like this. Florida has a problem.
Yeah, it's called Ron DeSantis.
I just been saying this state is already he's the governor of Florida.
Yeah,
he's already run this state because he's a racist.
Very.
And it just seems like they don't care about anything, or they don't think about anybody. To me, like always, white shit still trying to run shit. I'ma look at it like that, and I'ma leave it like that. Let's head to today's topic.
Come on now,
cause that's ridiculous. Honey, pick up a book and learn something.
Yeah, or have somebody
How
read
long
it for
have you been here? How long you don't know? I would not have ever said that I am not an expert. My children have to read it to me. That is utterly ridiculous.
Even if that's true, I would have kept that to myself.
And if anybody get behind her to ban these books, especially take the poem out these books, and stop saying that Oprah wrote this book. You heard that part?
I heard
saying
that
Oprah wrote this poem for her. Come on now, Oprah good, but I don't think Oprah that good. And even if she did, so
what? Who cares? Who cares? Anyway, let's get to the subject, man. See, and that's why I named this subject the miseducation of the Negro. Hold on, let me pull out my one of my favorite books. I just recently started back reading it. It's by H. Rap Brown. It's called Die Nigger Die. And it's got a snippet about education in it. Let me go ahead and pull it up real quick. And I'm just going to go ahead and say this. Brother Marcel said this in his lecture at the expo, that more and more black parents are homeschooling their children.
Yes.
And you, as a black woman, do you have a problem with that?
Not at all. I mean,
Explain that to me.
I used to think, I'm like, well, how that child gonna know social contact, and how they gonna know how to deal with other races, different characteristics, different personalities, if they at home all day in a guarded surrounding, seeing the same people every day. At least when you go to school, you go to like 5 or 6 different classes per day. You might see the same students, sometimes you don't, but if you do, you go into there and y'all learning something different every day. So even if you are learning the same thing at school, you're not having no social interacting with other little characteristics, other little people. You're not going on the playground. You're not eating lunch with different people. You're doing the same thing every day, over and over and over. So that's why I said at first I was like, well, I don't know, is it a good thing? But then I started thinking, just like Brother Marcel said, with all the school shootings that we're having these days, I get it. Especially when COVID, a lot of parents had to step up and really become quote unquote teachers during COVID, because a lot of kids was going to school via Zoom and they was getting homework assignments via Zoom. So instead of going to the teacher, asking the teacher to help them, they had to go to their parent. So I get that, but I don't know, I'm still torn on that. But the way society is, to keep your child safe, I would say homeschool, but in essence, they still need that camaraderie to go to school and be
get
around
the socialization.
be around other children and be around different teachers and involved in different activities and just get that social skills, because education is good, but you also need social skills. So that's my view on it. So I don't know, what say you?
Well, here's the thing. I had told my stepson that when it came down to my grandsons, if it was me, if I had anything to say about it, those boys of his, when I got through with them, when I got finished homeschooling, by the time they reached the age of 15, they'd be Rhodes Scholars. Because I will take the time out to teach them.
But would they have that social skill?
Yes, they would. I would indoctrinate all of that.
If you're homeschooling,
I would indoctrinate all of that.
How would you do it though? If they were homeschooled?
If they were homeschooled, get the socialization. Take them out on field trips. Take them out on field trips. Do a different field trip once a month, or at least once every week or so. Just go out and just kick it or whatever. So that way they can socialize with other children.
Okay. I see that. Yeah.
So, and that's pretty much what a lot of people are doing right now. Is that when it comes down to that? Yeah,
because I had some in the family, they be like, oh Lord, girl, I'll be glad when these kids go back to school. But then the other brother Marcel did make a good point. People thought that it was a lot of black parents that sent their kids to school. He said it was more white parents. That even though COVID was rampant, and they had just had a teacher that passed away from COVID, they still came through and dropped their children off with no mask, no sanitizer, no nothing. While black parents kept their kids at school and just took upon themselves to say, hey, I got to be there and I have to step up and probably go to what they call the University of YouTube and learn how to do algebra or learn how to congregate a verb or whatever, to make sure first, A, their child is safe, and B, that they're getting the education and the tutoring or whatever that they need to not stipend or stop their education because they're not able to go to a physical school, but to keep that progress going and keep that knowledge soaking into their mind. So I don't know. So the miseducation of the Negro. That's kind of.
Well, let's go back a little into history a little bit. Brown versus the Board of Education, Topeka, Kansas. For those of you who don't know, that was the landmark case, and Thurgood Marshall was involved in that case. If I make no mistake. I think he was. I might be wrong.
I know Carter G. Wilson was.
But anyway, that particular case right there is very pivotal, because in the beginning, the reason why they had that case in the first place is because when black students were going to school, a lot of the black students, they went to black schools basically. Tore up books with missing pages, books marked up. Some of the books didn't even have backs on them, and learning with outdated material. And when they came down to the standardized test scores, they did horrible on them. And the reason why they did so horrible is because they were going with what they had.
So they're probably semesters behind
compared
to other
years. No, not semesters. Years.
Years behind. They probably got the hand-me-down, but
they got
maybe 5 or 6 years ago.
There you go. Now they're getting it. Okay. My mother can tell you that.
Okay, yeah.
I'm gonna call her on the phone in a minute. But anyway, that being said, when it came down to it, what was going on was when the teachers from the black schools came up and said, "Hey, we need some money to educate our children. We want the same books that they got in white schools."
Right.
They weren't gonna have that. They said, "No, that's not what we're gonna do." And so they said, "Okay, then do this. Let us go to school with white children." And they did
Segregate.
that. There you go.
Okay.
Let us go to school with white children. Since you're not going to give us any money to update our books and to update our curriculum in our schools, let us go. Okay, all right. Since you don't give us any money, let's go take us to the white schools. Now, when they said, "You know what? Let's do that," they started nudging themselves and saying, "This doomed to fail now." Because to be honest with you, they did not want black people to get an education. Now, you know good and well that during slavery, what would they do to a slave who knew how to read and write?
They cut their tongue out, they
Pluck out their eyes, or kill them,
or their fingers so they can't write.
Yep,
stuff
or they
like
would kill
that.
them.
Yeah, or kill them. Yeah.
So
and then threaten the other
slaves.
You know,
that's
not
why
to listen to him.
There you go.
Yeah.
And that's why a lot of slaves, if they knew how to read and write, they hid it from their masters. Okay. So as long as black people were left uneducated, they were cool. Why? Because they weren't a threat to white society.
Right. I just found that. Let me to reiterate what you just said.
Go ahead.
Carter G. Wilson. I love this quote that kind of relates to what you just said. He said, "If you can control a man's thinking, you do not have to worry about his actions."
That came from his book,
Yeah.
The Miseducation of the Negro.
Exactly.
That came from his book. I remember that quote wholeheartedly.
So it's like, damn, you know, in essence, that's true.
Yeah.
Because you keep informing or drilling the same rhetoric in somebody, eventually they're gonna think it's true, even though it could be totally wrong.
And it was wrong.
Yeah.
Because for the longest time, and you know this to be true yourself, for the longest time, we were always told that black people are not as smart as white people.
Oh yeah.
How many times have we disproven that?
Every day. Ever since the civilization of man.
Exactly.
Yeah. Yeah.
But that goes along the lines of.
And I think they knew, not to cut you off, but I think they knew it too. That's why they go out and steal their patterns and
Exactly.
and didn't really want them to succeed.
That's exactly
Because
it.
they knew if they succeed.
That's exactly it. And that's the
Man.
reason why. And that's the reason why when that Brown versus the Board of Education, when the lawyers won their case right there, the white folks are like, you know what? Let them go ahead and have it. They're going to fail anyway. And then when black students started being on the same playing field with white students and started doing just as good, and in a lot of cases better than the white students, that's when they start saying, well, goddamn, we gotta change the rules.
Right.
And then they start gradually changing the rules. Okay. So nowadays, and people keep on saying this very false narrative. They're saying that the black dropout rate is higher than the white. That's a lie. Do I know some high school dropouts? Yes, I know quite a few of them. But I know more white ones than I know black ones.
Now I do know they are getting their high school education,
Yes.
but they're not going to college.
Yeah.
They feel like a 4-year plan is not what they are looking for. Some are,
I'm just talking about high
but
school.
some of them are like just getting certified in a particular field, which is still awesome.
I agree with you on that.
Awesome. But I don't think they're dropping out like people think they're dropping out. 'Cause
Of course
like I
not.
said, I have people in my family who went pretty much the whole 12 years and got to the last 2 months of the year and dropped out, which I thought was just asinine to me.
Yeah.
But you don't really hear about kids dropping out like we used to.
No, you don't.
Yeah.
And especially black children.
Exactly.
So I mean, you know, and that's kind of what I was getting at. You know, you don't see the dropout rate has gone down drastically in the black community.
Right.
It really has.
And that's a good thing.
And that's a really good thing. There are more white dropouts than black ones. And I can tell you right now, in my little country ass school, were there some black dropouts? Yes. But there were more white ones than black ones.
Yeah.
It was more white ones than black ones.
And you know what I learned, which was wholeheartedly, you done went to your school, did your 4, 6, 8 years sometimes.
Yeah.
Some of these people don't even have high school diplomas.
And that's what I'm talking about right there.
Top management positions.
I told my stepchildren, if you don't do anything else, get your high school diploma. You ain't gotta go to college, because I know for a fact college ain't for everybody. I know people that dropped out of college in their freshman year, And they're doing extremely well.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
So
I don't know, but so you know what I would like to say here. I'm glad we didn't drink the Kool-Aid. And some of us did decide to, even though they tried to stifle our growth, stifle our education, take our education, beat the education out of us.
Yep.
We still proceed forward.
Yep.
We still have some hell of a scholars in this world.
Thank you. One of my heroes, El Haj Malik El Shabazz, aka Malcolm X, dropped out of high school in the 7th grade.
And look, and he's one of the most prolific
debate. Put him in a debate with these so-called white scholars. He destroyed them.
Some of the best quotes
and he destroyed
history-making moments that will live on for time after time after time.
And he literally destroyed white scholars in the debate. Let me get Mom on the phone because she can talk about how bad the schools were when she was growing up. Hold on just a second, y'all. Let me get this.
You can tell the difference, like when it's what they call a black district or a white district or a southern district or a northern district. You can tell the difference, but you know, sometimes it'll be like, is it good for the cause? You really can't help where you live, but I don't think that the district should split up the education just depending on your zip code. That everybody should get a fair chance at the same type of education. But other than that, we all need to be on the same playing field, and hopefully we're getting there now. But I do agree with you, like back in the day, the most raggedest books, they didn't even have enough books for kids to take books home to continue their studies.
Right.
And I know some of that is still going on now, but you know, with the time and with the upgrade of technology, you can just go online and pull up the book online.
Yeah, you can.
Which is a good thing. But yeah, back in the day, not too long ago, I'm saying back in the day, maybe like less than 10, 15, 20 years ago, a lot of people didn't have enough books, or the education was so divided and so diverse that they would be like months and years ahead of each other or behind each other, however way you want to look at it, which is crazy.
I agree with you on that because like I said, you know, when both of our parents went to school during the Jim Crow era, okay, they was right there on the tail end of the Jim Crow era.
Yeah, my grandmother, my grandfather, I used to hear those stories. And we were, you know, and our parents and our great grandparents and our grandparents wanted our father and mothers and grandparents to be so much more better than them, that they had to get up and literally work the field, go to school, make good grades, and they've been up since 3-4 o'clock in the morning. So we had to just, like they always say, you got to be like 10 steps ahead of them just to be considered equal, which is so sad.
Yep.
Which is totally sad. Ridiculous, really.
I agree with you on that.
But nah, I don't. I know some black people who are far ahead of the game, and like I said, when I was in that field, I used to be thinking to myself, how the hell did you get this job? I mean, like, what? And then that's when all the trueness come out. They didn't even have degrees, barely had a high school diploma, but sitting up here with 6-figure positions and managing people they don't even really know. I mean, but like I said, don't get me wrong, I know experience trump degrees wholeheartedly. I agree with that, but now these days they want you to have a bachelor's degree just to shake fries at McDonald's these days. So I don't know. It's crazy.
Hold on, I think we got another death.
Who?
I think we have another death.
Who?
Harry Belafonte.
Oh yeah, he died a couple of weeks ago.
Yeah, he did, didn't he?
Yeah.
We didn't say anything about that, did we?
I don't remember if we did.
No, he did April 25th. Okay, yeah, he did a while back. Okay. All right, okay. Yeah. But yeah, that was one of Mama's men. She loved her some Harry Belafonte. Hold on, let me get Mom on the phone real quick, and she can talk more about that, because you know some of the books and stuff that they had. From what she was telling me when I heard that, man, I'm like, whoa, Mom, how did y'all even do it? She said we did it. Hold on, Mom, let me get you right here. But to piggyback off what you were talking about, when those folks out there, and by those folks I mean those white people out there, the Little Rock Nine, the Little Rock Nine. I'll get my phone. You should pick up. It ain't too late. Just say 8:40.
Hello there.
Hey, Mom.
What's going on,
Oh,
baby?
we got you on the air.
Hey, how are you?
I'm good. How y'all doing?
Good.
Oh, we doing pretty good, Mom. Well, Mom, the subject of today is it is not the Jim Crow era, the miseducation of the Negro. And I was talking about how when you were coming up and some of the books y'all had was so old, if you even had a book, it was ridiculous. Can you talk about that a little bit?
Well, when I was in middle school, we did not have a full set of encyclopedia in our library. And we only got the books that the other schools didn't want. Which didn't bother us that much because we were kids and we enjoyed reading.
Right.
So, yeah, that was the issue back then, is that we were not allowed to have just new English books, new math books, etc. They always had somebody's name in them, drawings and things like that. But
pages missing.
That too. What really bothered me, and it did bother me even then, was the fact that we did not have a complete set of encyclopedias.
Yeah.
That was where your information came from back in the day. Now you don't have to worry about it because you have access to computers.
Right.
Back then it was totally different.
Yep. Well, we were just talking about that, Mom, because I remember you telling me that, and Aunt Sue telling me that, and my Aunt Evelyn telling me that the books and stuff like that, some of the books didn't even have backs on them.
Oh, that's true. That's true. But we used them.
Right.
We used them, and people got past that. It didn't stop us. Is what I'm saying?
Right. Okay.
And that's my take on that. I mean, that's my honest answer on that.
Okay, Mom. I want to get your opinion on this because I already got your daughter-in-law's opinion on this. How do you feel about books being banned out of libraries?
That is the stupidest thing anybody could ever do.
I agree.
Yeah.
Back when I was in and paying attention to things, midway high school, I believe somebody somewhere decided that they needed to ban some books from the libraries, the school libraries, because they didn't want their kids exposed to certain information. I have no idea what that information was at that time.
Right.
But they did. This is not the first time they've had book bannings, and it most certainly will not be the last.
Right.
Why they do that is a mystery to me. And now it's laughable because the information is out there anyway.
Exactly. I mean, you're not really stopping anybody from reading anything. I mean, if somebody wants to read To Kill a Mockingbird, all they gotta do is download it.
Yeah, that's true.
Exactly. And more likely than not, they could get a free copy of it.
Exactly. That's my whole point, Mom.
Depends on where they get it from.
Yep.
So now doing something like that, back then it may have worked. I don't have a clue whether or not it did. I just read the books I could get my hands on.
Yeah.
It was, but now is laughable. I don't know why people are getting all excited about the information that's right there in front of you.
Yeah. Yeah.
In their
And you
hands on
should
their phone.
access it.
Yep. Yep.
But what's so hurtful to me is that they're trying to burn everything that has to do with Black history.
They're
And
trying to, as far as black people are concerned, they don't want the black people to point out the fact that we have been oppressed, discriminated against, and kept from an attempt to keep us from learning anything about ourselves. They don't want to admit that we're there. And as long as they say we can't read that book, that means that they can tell themselves that we accept that we're not there. But we are.
or that it never existed.
Right.
But they look. That's why I say it's so laughable to me, because if you have a room full of 25 children, I'm pretty sure 21 or 22 of those children have a phone, and on that phone is either Google or Safari or some kind of internet connection to the www, and they can look it up.
Yep.
So that's why it's so laughable to me. It's like you're trying to take these books out of libraries and out of schools, but they easily have a phone sitting right on their desk that they can access it. So it's like, why is these people? Where do these people get this from? I don't get it. I just don't get it, and it's hurtful. You just trying to make it seem like that. Why would you try to erase our? Okay, you trying to make it. What they kept saying, they trying to. What did you say? They trying to do something for the children.
They don't want to indoctrinate.
Yeah, indoctrinate the children. Okay, some kids know that their great pappy was a slave owner.
Yep.
And if they don't know, ask your mama. But then you can pick up a book, and your last name will pretty much tell you what your last name is tied to.
Yep.
Slave trade.
Pretty much.
I mean, if you're going to do your DNA to these 1, 2, 3 DNA me and all that, you're going to eventually find out who your family lineage come from.
Yep.
So why are we trying to erase it?
I was reading an article today about this woman who came from another country, and I won't name the country. She said that she had no idea, coming from that country, that she was black until she got to the U.S.
Wow.
Oh my God.
She saw herself as something totally different. She didn't look at herself and say, I'm black.
Right.
Because of her upbringing.
Yeah.
And when she got to the United States, she came to the United States because she wanted to be a writer.
Okay.
Which I can understand. And I suppose she has become a writer, but I'm not so sure I would want to read anything she wrote. I'm not certain that I would.
Oh, okay.
But because I'd be afraid to. Because I think it would probably take something away from being black. It would. If she didn't know she was black and she got to be an adult with her hair looking like that.
She's not relatable. She don't know the struggle.
Yeah, that's it.
Yeah, she don't know the struggle.
That's it.
Or the rhetoric of the black culture. Yeah.
And if nobody ever pointed out to that woman in the United States that she was black, I wonder how long it would have taken her to realize. You have the same problems. You have the same problems, and she can deny this if she chooses.
Right.
Which she did. She said that in her country there were not the problems that other parts of her country as a whole was having.
Okay.
But that's not true. That is not true.
I would like to know where she from.
If I named the country and you looked at the news, you would know That's not true.
Oh,
How
okay.
she didn't see that is a mystery.
Okay.
Mm.
All right. Okay. Well,
I don't want anybody suing y'all or me because I spoke out of school.
Mom, it's all good. But, as usual, we like calling you up and getting your opinion on certain things on certain subjects. And that was one of them.
Absolutely.
And that was one of them that I had to get because, like I said, you and your siblings grew up right on the ass end of Jim Crow. So y'all experienced some stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, we did. Yes, we did.
And then to come along.
That probably wasn't the only thing that the schools that I attended did not have.
Mm.
But that's okay. I still grew up.
Yep.
And made my way such as it is.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
You always have to say such as it is.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
Right. Well, Mom, thank you.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you for the information.
Absolutely.
We appreciate it.
You're very welcome.
All right, Mom. We'll talk to y'all later.
All right.
Bye, Mom.
Good night.
Bye.
But
Well, in the words of Rachel, they had to do what they gotta do, baby.
exactly, that's pretty much what they did, and
that's not fair, though.
I agree with you on that.
That is
I agree
not
with you on
fair
that.
at all. These kids and do nothing. They just going to school trying to get an education like the others. Well, so with all this being said, is there a solution?
I tell you what my solution would be. I mean, to all the black students out there, if you can get good homeschooling program, and there are lots of programs out there to where you can homeschool your children. I would suggest that because I went to college with some homeschool children. They're some of the smartest people I had ever seen.
You think they'll be like introverted or withdrawn?
Oh no, they're real sociable.
Yeah.
They're real sociable. They were black too. I mean, they were really intelligent. They knew shit that I didn't even know. I'm like, what? I didn't know that part. Hey man, it's in this book, right? And they told me what book to go get, and that's okay, cool. I'm gonna go get it. So I don't have an issue with homeschooling at all. I really don't. As a matter of fact, I am promoting it. Definitely homeschool your children, ladies and gentlemen. I mean, because nobody
But in this culture now, in this financial culture that we live in,
you can still do it.
Just to live paycheck to paycheck, you need two income to live paycheck to paycheck.
I agree with you on that.
So with one being gone, that might be kind of tough these days. But
Yeah,
like I said, I do. If you have that avenue, or okay, the word I'm trying to say, if you have the means to do it, please.
Yeah.
Please,
I mean, that's the only thing I can say. Just homeschool your children, man.
Right.
I'm definitely an opponent of that. Please, but do it. Homeschool your children. That's the only alternative that we have because nobody can teach about us better than us. Nobody knows us better than us.
Was our brother Marcel who said back in the day, if you couldn't do it or I couldn't do it, Big Mama did it and Big Auntie did it and Papa did it and the neighbor did it because we had that village.
We had that village,
yeah.
and that's another thing. Let's get on that real quick. The village is completely gone now.
And it's so sad.
I agree with you on that. We were talking about that the other day. How you wish your nieces could go and visit your grandparents and
go down there in the summer like I did.
Exactly. Go down there in the summer and live for a little while and actually live off the land. Yeah. Cause I'm gonna tell you right now.
You'll know both sides of both worlds.
There you go. Cause I'm gonna tell you right now. I enjoyed it. I loved it.
I did too. I mean, even though when I got now, don't get me wrong. When I got about 16, 17, I ain't want to leave my friends up here, but they still made me go. And to this day, I wholeheartedly appreciate it.
Yeah, exactly.
I appreciate it. 'Cause I got to see the best of both worlds.
Yeah,
I loved it.
Right.
And I hate that now that those cousins and neighborhood children that we grew up with, we don't even hardly see each other or speak to each other.
Yeah.
Which is sad. We all used to be outside, drink out the same water hole, ride each other's bikes. Didn't want to go into the house because we wanted to be out there and play and have fun. And now we barely speak, which is because a lot of us grew up, even though we were like, not even first, because some of us were like second, third, and fourth cousins.
Yeah.
But we grew up like sister and brother.
Yeah.
And it's hurtful, but We somehow, some way, we gotta get back to that. Cause we're hurting our children.
My cousin,
our children.
My cousin Eddie Dean. You know, I talk to him often. Mm-hmm. My second cousin wants to move. Love that man to death. Mm-hmm. We still talk. I grew up with Eddie Dean. Eddie Dean was older than I was, but I grew up with Eddie Dean. We hung out together. You know, we did some stuff. We did some things together. Mm-hmm. My cousin Jay literally grew up with him in the same house, literally. And now I hardly ever talk to him. Yeah. And that's sad. And he's right here in Dallas.
That's real sad.
Eddie Dean is way in Fayetteville, Arkansas. I could call Eddie Dean right now. He answers the phone.
Wow. And that's what I'm saying. How do we get there? How do we go from stacking on the floor like crackers in a package, sleeping on the floor? Yeah. And if I had a bologna sandwich, you had a bologna sandwich, or playing hopscotch and racing on bikes and walking the railroad tracks and picking berries off the vines along the way. Yeah. How do we go from that
to where we are now?
Where we are? We have so many modern luxuries now that we can either email, text, call, in the cloud, however you want to look at it, but we don't utilize it. Yeah. That's crazy.
I agree.
I agree. It's crazy.
Okay, I find a quote from H. Rap Brown finally. Hold on, let me pull it up. But yeah, I agree with you on that, babe. I mean, because we as a people, we need to get back to that.
We do. If not for ourselves, because we're old and gray now, for our children. Our children, and I've been saying this, and God forbid that any of it happen to my family, we going to mess around. They're going to start dating each other because they don't know each other. And that's going to be a shitty mess.
Oh, yeah, I agree with you on that one. Well, here's a quote from H. Rap Brown. H. Rap Brown said this, and I agree with him 100%. He said, America doesn't know which black birth is going to be the birth that will overthrow the country. How deep is that?
Which black birth?
Yeah, they don't know which black birth is going to be the one to overthrow the country. So that's why they got to keep us suppressed. And that's why they got to give us some bullshit education so that we'll fall by the wayside and do something stupid and get incarcerated. Or worse than that, get a bad case of death. So, yeah. Anyway, good show, baby.
Absolutely, but let me hold on for a minute. I want to touch on this story.
Go ahead, touch on it.
I didn't mean to skip it, but it just popped up in my mind.
Okay.
Have y'all seen the story about the black teen and the little Segway bike and the nurse and all that?
Yes.
Can you elaborate on that a little bit?
Well, for those of you who don't know, there was a story I think it happened in New York. This young man had rented one of those bikes that you can rent, and he's got the receipt on his phone and everything else. This white lady was trying to take his bike from him, and she started screaming bloody murder, trying to get this young man hemmed up. Okay, but luckily it didn't work. I think the boy's sister came up with the actual receipt of him renting that bike, and you haven't heard anything from the lady that was trying to get the bike from the little boy, have you?
Well, I know it was another story that came out, and supposedly she has produced a receipt too.
Oh yeah?
But where is it? She say S-A-Y, but we ain't seen S-E-E-N.
Well, he got the receipt. He got his receipt.
I mean hers. She say she
got
has
a receipt,
one,
but she ain't. But
no one has seen.
Anybody seen the receipt?
Her receipt. So until we see her receipt,
that's just hearsay.
I'm going with the young man.
Yeah, because he ran the bike. Because he said he showed it to her on his phone.
But what got me is, why we playing up the narrative court? I'm pregnant. And they were like, oh, okay, yes, ma'am, here you go. And he explained to her, ma'am, I need this bike because I'm way away from home. This is my only mode of transportation to get home. And she just took it and put it and scanned a little code with her phone. Like what he just said wasn't even important.
Yeah.
Disgusting.
Yeah. I mean, that goes along with white privilege. That's white privilege right there. That's it right there. That's white privilege.
I'm really proud of the mom has stepped up, and she is 100% behind her behind her son, which is awesome. But and I'm so proud of him. Not one time, I don't know if he knew the camera was rolling or whatever, but not one time did that young man get out of character.
No, he didn't. He was real respectful.
Personally, for me,
she would have got cussed out 3 ways or Sunday.
If you don't get your oh my God, probably I would. I don't know, especially if I done told you, ma'am, I need this bike to get home. I cannot let you get this bike. I need to get. If there's some other ones down the way, just walk down there and get them.
And get rid of one of them. Exactly.
You cannot have this one that I'm actually. He wants, like, his friends was sitting on theirs. He was standing in front of him, but he was leaning on the handlebar. You see me pretty much take ownership of this one.
Yeah. But
you're telling me you need it because you're pregnant and you're in a hurry. Okay. But I'm glad the mother's behind. But like I said, until Miss Lady, the nurse, produced her receipt. I mean, don't like just say you got a receipt. Had. That's why I said we having SEE in it. So until we SEE in it, sit down.
Yeah, sit down and be quiet.
Have several seats.
It was another story I wanted to talk to you about. I want to get your opinion on it. Mm-hmm. Hold on, let me change a few things here. There was another story I want to touch on. You remember hearing about the story? Well, actually, several stories like this. The little boy that got shot in a man's yard. I think he was riding in a man's yard or something like that. And the man popped shots at him and killed the little boy in the yard. I forgot the little boy's name that quick. But anyway, and before I say what I'm getting ready to say, I just want to say to black people, we need to get off of this bullshit right here. The parents of the little boy that got shot, they forgave the killer.
Wow, no, I have not heard that.
We gotta get off of that, ladies and gentlemen. We really do. Because I'm just gonna be honest with you. If God forbid something happens to me, I want this woman across from me to raise all kinds of hell. Cause I know that my mother would. She ain't gonna forgive nobody until something is done.
Senseless? Oh no, not senseless.
Exactly.
You had to come better to me with, oh, I am so sorry. Who's sorry? Okay. No, that's no. It gotta be something better than that.
Exactly. No, forget that sorry bullshit. No, I'm not gonna take up apologize my ass. No. Damn your apology. Stick it up your ass.
Wrong. I know things happen every second of the day.
I agree.
But if it's something that could have been prevented because you have an issue with my skin color, or something that happened, or I stepped in your yard, or I cut you off on no. Now, don't get me wrong, y'all have heard me say several times on this platform, I am Christian. I go to church. I believe in turning the cheek, but which cheek do I turn? And how soon and how much should I be forgiven? I know the Bible teaches us that, but you just don't know what you would do in a situation like that.
I'm just going to be honest with you. This is just my take on this whole situation. Now, I know for a fact that I get on my wife's nerves. I know that. I'll be the first to tell anybody. I get on my wife's nerves. I sure do. She gets on mine sometimes. It happens.
Hold on.
It happens.
Rewind.
It happens. But I can pretty much guarantee that if something was to happen to me that was completely senseless, she would come unhinged.
Oh yeah.
I know that for a fact. Just like I would come unhinged if something happened to her. And I ain't gonna forgive nobody. Damn that forgiveness bullshit.
You would literally have to come with me with a PowerPoint presentation, all kind of receipts, because I know I love hard, and if it was taken away from me senseless, and all you can say is that I'm sorry, I probably have a hard time understanding that.
Yeah.
I just, because some things are preventable.
Yeah.
Some things can be talked out.
Yeah.
But if you just been a hothead and just chose to go another route,
Let me see if I can pull it up, man. I forgot to pull this story up. I'm gonna see if I can pull it up, babe. Hold on, just a second. Let me see if I can pull it up.
I hadn't heard that story.
Yeah.
But would that be a big ups for them? Would they be? I mean, like, are they? You have questions now. You like, are they religious, or could it? Is it something that wasn't? Couldn't have happened? I mean, like, maybe it was something that just could not have not happened. Wasn't able to be prevented. I mean, it's so many questions with a story like that, because forgiveness is hard, and I don't care what it is. Forgiveness is a hard thing, and then for you to forgive someone for killing your child, and I don't know. That's like I said, maybe they, maybe the person said something to them, or maybe they just, know things are.
Well, like I said, man, I don't want
inevitable. I don't know.
I mean, like I said, I don't want nobody to. I'm sorry. I guess I'm petty like that. But me personally, I don't. I ain't gonna forgive nobody. Because something happens to my wife. I'm the person that did it. They gonna pay with their life as well. I believe in an eye for an eye. Yeah. I'm sorry.
And that's what I'm saying. It's like forgiveness is hard.
Exactly my point. That's what I'm getting at. It'd be hard for me to forgive. Nah, I'm sorry. I can't forgive you for that. You killed my wife, man. That's my wife. Come on, that's my heart right there.
God, I don't know. That's a hard pill to swallow right there. I don't know.
That's my that's my heart right there. Shit. I mean, come on.
But the most out of all the stories we did today, the one that touched me the most is the mother who has children who's trying to ban other books and don't even know why.
Well, she don't know why, because like you said, she's a follower. She's a follower.
That's why I always tell people, try your hardest. Don't be a follower, because you could be going down a path that you probably can never come back from. And now with her saying this on a national platform that she has, people gonna think she's an imbecile. You gonna tell people that you're not a reader,
and then you gotta have your children read shit for you.
Your children have to read to you.
That's not saying much for you at all.
And it says elementary, so your children are under 16.
Yeah, way under 16. They're under 12.
Now I know there are some smart children. Shout out to a little 13-year-old from OKC who got all those degrees.
Oh yeah, I ain't got my sound effects up.
I would have said something else other than that all day long. That just doesn't even.
We was talking about this yesterday when we were eating lunch. We were talking about getting into college. And I know you that you were recruited by a few colleges. I was recruited by a few colleges. I even applied for a shitload of them. I can honestly say this. The only thing that I wish that I would have done, and I told you before, I wish I would have went to an HBCU so I could just experience that. I wish I would have. You went to 2. So
I have no regrets.
And you got a good education, obviously.
No regrets.
And you got a good education, obviously, right?
And like I said, I was like with my nieces, I was encouraging them. If you don't want to go to the ones I went to, there are so many
There's a whole bunch of them
that are amazing. Yeah. And so she wanted to go, but she didn't want to go too far from home. So I said, right up the road, 45, TSU.
Yep. Texas Southern. That's one of the schools I applied for.
Or either go the other way, 35, Langston.
Oh yeah, Langston University, right there in Oklahoma. Yep.
All the way around, very good school. So yeah, I would encourage HBCU.
Jay went to Langston. Jay and his wife both, they went to Langston.
I know a lot of people want to go to the mainstays or the Texas OUs and the Clark Atlantas and all that. Even though Clark Atlanta is a HBCU, yep. But a lot of people go because of the name recognition. Yeah. But I
think that's the main reason why that I chose to be a Sooner. I wish, which I don't have any regrets with that, because I got a halfway decent education. But hindsight's always 20/20. I should have gone to a smaller college. Would have got an even better one, because those smaller colleges have a tendency to challenge the students a whole lot better.
You're not overcrowded. They know
there
you
you
by
go. That's
name.
it. That's what I'm getting
You're
at.
not a number.
There you go. They actually get personal with you,
Right.
and that's what I regret about that.
Yeah.
But you know,
Like I was in accounting. My major's in accounting.
yeah,
And so, of course, I was part of the accounting department. I worked in the accounting department as my work study.
right.
And I got to know all the accounting professors, and it was awesome, you know. And I had that rapport that they knew me by name, you know. And it felt good to know that if I was having an issue or didn't understand something, I could walk into their office.
Yeah.
And they were like, okay, have a seat, you know, and stuff like that. So, that one-on-one connection is amazing.
Yeah.
Because I know, like, with big schools, you got to make an appointment and
Yeah,
stuff
you do.
like that. Or either you get to talk to the TA or something
Yeah,
like
you do.
that.
You do.
So, yeah, I would never shoot down a small college at all.
Oh no, I wouldn't do it either. I wouldn't do it either. Like I said, that's the thing with me. I wish I would have gone to a smaller college instead of going to the University of Oklahoma. But that's where I got my scholarship at.
Yeah.
So you know, I mean, that's.
You are smart. You got scholarships. Okay, good show as always.
Oh man, this
Very
was
good
an amazing show, man. You know, I'm glad that we. I mean, I wish we would have done it yesterday, but that's my fault. I'll take the hit on that. But you know, it is what it is. It's Memorial Day, so
Yeah, I'm glad we did it today.
Yeah.
To make the recognition of our servicemen and women. So yeah.
oh yeah, definitely. So anyway, we have a basketball game to finish watching.
Yeah, I'm trying to see what the score was. 'Cause last week I shouted out the Celtics, and they did a phenomenal job Saturday night.
That was a good game, though, man. When I saw that game,
and they won. I'm gonna put it out there because of me.
okay,
I was at the expo with Tyreek, you know, and all the other guests, and we came home. We got home in enough time to catch the last
come on,
2 minutes,
yeah.
and I was just sad.
Mm-hmm.
I was sad.
We said Boston going fishing.
And I was like, dang, man, it's gonna be Miami and
Denver.
Baby, when Marcus Smart took that shot, and then Forehead, and I'm gonna call him Forehead, but his last name White. That's what I'm saying. Stop getting the ball, dribbling it, take it, shoot. And that might give you an opportunity, just like this young man proved here. If it don't go in, somebody get the rebound, put it back in. And he did. Oh my God, I was screaming. Wasn't I screaming? I was screaming. I was so excited.
Yeah, she was screaming,
But
man.
Last time I checked the phone, they were losing. So hopefully they'll get it together, and then I think it should be halftime by now.
Yeah, I think it's in the third quarter. It's in the third quarter now.
Hopefully they get it together and make it a good. That was a good game. I went back and looked. I stayed up that night and watched. You know, I was dead dog tired. I stayed up and looking. That was a very good game.
Yeah, it was a good game. It was a really good game.
So hopefully this game will be it. But tonight will be it. It's gonna either be Boston. What's the score? Can you see it?
Nah, they ain't showed yet.
Oh, okay. It's Boston or either Miami. So I'm gonna say it again. Let's go Celtics. Let's go Celtics. Let's get this. Let's make, in the words of Charles Barkley, let's make history, because no team has been down
3-0 and came back and won.
Yeah, except so I think they said some baseball
10-point
team.
lead.
By who?
Miami.
It's third quarter.
Start of fourth quarter.
Oh man,
they got time.
Come on, Boston. Come on now. Get
They got time. They can make history.
Get that second win and let's go. But shout out to Miami, Jimmy, you doing your thing, boy. Bam, bam, bam. Bam is doing his thing, so I'm not gonna take that away from them.
As you can see, my wife is an avid basketball fan. She really is. I am too. I love basketball. I can't play for shit, but I love the sport. So
I'm just gonna take this last quarter and be over here hollering and screaming.
Yeah, buddy.
Finna be the coach from the sideline.
Hey, ain't nothing wrong with that. Ain't nothing wrong with that.
Hopefully they can hear me through the TV.
Ain't nothing wrong with that.
But yeah, always guys, tell a friend, subscribe to the channel. We're doing some good things here. Very proud of the show. Very proud of the platform. We might be
on 6 Zeros.
Co-mingling with another.
Yeah,
top
6zeros.net. Yeah, I think they're gonna start I think 6 Zeros are gonna start a live streaming thing, and we're gonna beta test it tomorrow. Mm-hmm. So we'll be on YouTube and we're on more than one platform now. We'll be on YouTube, Spotify, and 6zeros.net.
Wow, nice.
Yeah, buddy.
Nice.
And with 6zeros.net, we'll have a way bigger audience, and so that's pretty much what we're trying to do.
Amen.
Is expand that and go out to the masses, and get.
When you do good things come your way.
There you go, exactly it,
Absolutely.
man. So In the meantime, I'm going to get off of here and hit the like button, subscribe, do all that good stuff.
Tell a friend, tell a friend.
Tell somebody to tell somebody, tell somebody, and tell somebody to tell somebody too. So anyway, y'all, I'm getting ready to get off of here and grope my wife's butt. As always. Yeah, so
I'm Reggio.
I'm Reggio.
And I'm Mimi the lady.
Yeah, y'all.
Bye.